Alright, so many weeks ago, we filmed building these beach chairs. I quite simply just flat out stole the design from Anna White, all the dimensions, but mine are finished and I put them together with PL Premium, so I think mine are a little bit better, but anyway, she gets the credit for the design. This is the last one we're going to do building with our basic tools that we started with. As part of our building a woodworking business from scratch with a very low budget, I built myself a little sled here for making the crosscuts. We'll go over the financial stuff at the end and explain where we're going with the series. So at that, let's get to it. All right, so we got, first off, we're gonna start with our fence board. I'm gonna cut 5 pieces at 14 1/4. So I made this jig because I got tired of doing it freehand. I'll give you a quick explanation when we're done, but it's very specific to each saw, so you'll probably be able to find videos of other people doing them out there. I just wanted to do it for fun because, you know, why not? See how see the line is on that edge because the blade's going to be on that side, okay? Nice and simple. So I have these 2 pieces on the side just so it's nice and even. And I'm going to have to clamp down the back side here just to make sure it doesn't slide. Okay, that should be good. As you can see, this is extremely painful without an electric brake. All right, now two 2x2s cut at 30 inches. Okay, so now next one at 26, which is going to be 2 of these. Obviously the next one's coming off another board. And we'll cut our 8-inch one off of this. All right, and our last 26 now. All right, now we just need 2 short pieces of 1x3, 14 1/4. Okay, we're done with all this. Time to start sanding. All right, now we're gonna sand everything down, give it a good once over at 120 grit, so we don't have to sand it later. Okay, so we're gonna pre-assemble this one part before we stain it. So you're gonna measure up 5 inches from the bottom. And then I'm just gonna drill a pilot hole, the countersink, just one. Okay, so to stop it from spinning, we're gonna put some adhesive in there. I'm gonna use PL Premium. I got it handy, but Type Bond 3 is fine. Don't have to put a lot. The screw's gonna hold it. Like I said, this is just to keep it from spinning. You can either use 2.5 or 3-inch screws. I'm just happen to be using 3 inches. So now we gotta mark a few things. Okay, so when we're done, there's gonna be 2 boards there. So I'm gonna put a mark kind of there and there. It doesn't have to be a ton, just to make sure the glue grabs. So we're not gonna put stain where that is, because we want the glue to have the wood sticking to wood. Okay, so that one's marked. Take our 2 small pieces, figure out which side we're gonna stick down, I'm just going to put an X there. And then on these ones, we're going to measure up 6.5 from the bottom. And our board is going to be here. Doesn't matter if you use exactly a 1x3 or whatever it is, as long as the top of it is on that line. And then conversely on the other side, we're going to go up 8.5. And then this one, all that matters is it's lined up with the bottom. That way we have a 2-inch gap between the two for the bottom, for the seat to slide in. You'll see. Okay, so we're going to flip it back over so we have our lower one here. And then this is the back, so we're going to have 3 boards coming like that. So same thing, we're going to put some marks. The only reason why we're putting that here is that if the boards shrink a little bit, you'll see it will be finished underneath it. I really don't think for a beach chair you need to do this. I would say that I'm probably way doing overkill on this. So you might just want to stain them and then just glue them and screw them down, and I'm sure that's good enough. This is just, I don't know. I'm Mr. Overkill, so this is why I'm doing it this way. Shake her up real good. Australian timber oil, jar of brown. Even after all that shaking, make sure you stir it up real good. We're going to make sure that we don't do the part where we want the glue to stick. Okay, now I'm just going to leave it like that for half an hour or so. Then I'm going to flip them and finish them. This is why we're using the underside of our workbench, because it doesn't matter if it gets a little bit on it, but it's going to get absorbed into the wood pretty quickly. It does take quite a while to dry, but you'll be able to handle it within an hour. Okay, now while that's drying over there, I'm just going to throw a little bit of teak oil onto the cedar boards here. You absolutely do not need to do this. I just think it makes it look a little nicer. It's easier to sell. Okay, same thing. I'm going to let this dry for about half an hour, and then I'm going to flip it over. And when I do the back, I'm not going to do the edges here because I'm going to put a little bit of glue on there, so it's going to stick a little better without having finish on it. All right, see you in a bit. Okay, so we're going to finish the assembly with this one that I pre-stained a couple days ago. You'll note that this one does not have an X on there. It's because it was over here. I accidentally left them too long, so I ended up having to cut it off, but no big deal. Okay, so for the first one, we're going to go to the lower side here. This is a 6.5. So we're going to make sure we line up the top of the board with the 6.5 mark. And I'm going to, I meant to do that. Okay, we're just going to pre-drill a couple holes. A little bit of premium. And our 1.5-inch screws. PL Premium works as a very good lubricant, which is not ideal for these circumstances. Okay, flip it over. Here's our other one, the 8.5, and this one we're going to line up with the bottom. Set that inside like there. Just line up the outsides with the outer board. Try to space this one evenly in the middle there. Okay, and take that part and put it aside. Carry on with the same thing over here. Pickety bam. All right, so there we have it. What is really nice about these is they are very, very light. And I really like Viking chairs, but I don't really want to carry a 2x12 around with me, so I figure these are much more convenient. All right, so if you like content like this, then please like and subscribe. Leave us a comment down below. And we're going to explain the last of the financials here on the starting out of the business where we left off. It's been a while, so I might not remember everything. So by the time we had sold other things, the last thing that we built was that bench. So let's assume that we sold the bench for, I don't know, $80 just to be conservative about it. That's going to put our budget up to $124, whatever, similarly Canadian. It doesn't really matter at this point. I bought this. That comes out of it. You get the point. At this point, you can just build as many benches as you want and, get your sales and just build it up. So the point is, you don't need a lot to get started. Who's the Boss just did a video on how to start up with, I think it was $127 or something like that. It was like with a jigsaw and a cordless saw. I was at a guy's place the other day and he was showing me his wood shop that he did in his car shelter, so you don't need to have a garage. So yeah, we're gonna be moving on from this. So the last ones that we're gonna do in this video series are going to be basically how to gather the tools in the order that you should for being budget friendly. We're gonna do a video on miter saws and table saws and one on clamps because that's where a lot of money goes. Also, there's going to be the one where we do a marketing, so we get sales and pricing and whatnot to do with that. So like I said, if there's anything that you want me to add into any of these videos, let me know in the comments before we finish up this series, because once I'm done this series, we're gonna be moving into the shop being done and I'm not gonna go back to any of this stuff. I just wanted to get it out of the way because this is what I had to go through to start the business up, and I'm beyond that now, so I don't really want to backpedal. And now, having said all that, bye-bye, Craig. All right, so if you want to see the whole series up to this point, just click in the box up there, and I'll put something else in the box down there. So thanks for watching. See you next time.